Good morning, children. So, today we will be continuing with part 2 of lesson number 11, One World, written by Safdar Hashmi. So, you are going to sit with a notebook and a pen and make sure that you are going to write all the important points which your teacher is going to discuss along with you. So, come on, we will start with the recap first and then we will continue with the explanation of this remaining poem. So now, yes, children, we will do a quick recap of this poem. As we know, children, this is an act done between Akbar and Birbal. Now, the great Mughal emperor Akbar had become boastful and arrogant. Now, he suddenly one fine day starts realizing and believes that he was the most wiser than anyone else in the world. According to him, he had seen all that there was to see, and he had done all there was to be done. Now, his vice minister Birbal starts worrying about his attitude, and he thinks that the King Akbar is actually ill, and he comes up with a plan. Now, while walking in the ground of Fatehpur Palace, one fine day, King Akbar gets tripped over Sadhu, and there he starts a conversation with Sadhu. Now, children, we had stopped in between the conversation. Now, what we will be doing is we will continue with the remaining conversation between Sadhu and the King Emperor Akbar the Emperor Akbar, and now we will see what is the conclusion of this poem. So we will quickly start with the explanation of the remaining part. Oh Sadhuji, you are so dumb. Don't you know my Abbaji? So now, children, over here, King Akbar is telling Sadhuji that he is dumb. That means he is not using his common sense. He asked a question actually to King Akbar that who was ruling before King Akbar. So of course King Akbar is giving an explanation stating that it was his father, it was his Abbaji. But before your father, sir, who lived here, do you know? Now Sadhuji is asking, so do you know before your father who was ruling here? Then King Akbar replied, Grandpa Babur, Shahenshah. Many called him so. Now King Akbar replied that of course it was my grandpa whose name was Babur, and he was actually called Shahenshah. Now while saying this, King Akbar was feeling very proud. Okay. Who lived here long before them all? Who ruled long before them all? So now Sadhuji is asking the question who lived before them all and who was ruling, of course, before them all. And when they died, why did they leave things in ruins to fall? Now Sadhuji is asking when they all left from here, and why they left all these things, why they went away like this, why they left everything here to get destroyed. Okay, that means to get ruined. So now over here Sadhuji is talking about all the belongings which King Akbar says, like the moon, the stars, the grass, everything belongs to King Akbar, right? So now he's saying that when they all left or when they all died, so why they left everything over here to get destroyed? Okay, now let us go ahead. Their palaces, their gardens, their fortresses, so tall. Tell me, Akbar Bhai, some history, let's recall. So now, of course, Sadhuji is asking King Akbar, so when they left or when they died, why they left all their palaces, their gardens, their fortresses, which are so tall, and why they left everything to get destroyed over here? So he is telling King Akbar to recall all the history. They spent some moments of their lives on this earth called home. Yes, so Sadhuji is saying that of course they had spent long moments, good moments of their life on the earth now, which they call home, and then moved on ahead alone, each and every one. So now over here, Sadhuji wants to say that when we actually take birth, we come alone, and when we die alone. That means we go alone. So, when even your father or your grandfather, when they came here, they also took a birth and they also died. When they took a birth, they came alone, and when they died, they also went alone. And each and every one in the world needs to do this. So, whatever things belongs to us, we have to leave everything and go. You are right, said Akbar Badshah. Oh, Sadhu Maharaj, I am not the only one to have ruled this land so large. So now over here, Akbar Badshah says he's telling Sadhuji, you are right, of course. Now, to whom is saying right? He, of course, is telling this to Sadhuji that yes, you are right. Oh, Sadhu Maharaj, I'm not the only one to have ruled this land so large. So he's saying that I'm not the only one person who has ruled. Before me, that means before him also, many have come and left the land as it was. Okay, now let us see what happens in the next stanza. Your fortress is an inn, my friend, the Sadhu said. He spoke his mind, where you may sit and rest a while. And when you go, you leave behind not just your palace but this world. And in it is some rest to take, where people going to and fro use as they will just for a break. Now, children, over here, Sadhuji is telling King Akbar that your fortress is an inn, my friend. So he's calling Emperor Akbar as his friend, and he's saying that your fortress, that means your palace, is an inn, is like a hotel where you may sit and rest. Now, in his palace, he can actually go, he can sit, he can rest for a while. And when you go, you leave behind. Now, wherever he go, he is definitely going to leave behind his fortress or his palace. Not just your palace, but this world also. So he is telling him, of course, when you're going to leave this world, you are not definitely going to take your palace along with you. You're going to leave the palace behind the way you're going to leave this world. And in it is some rest to take. Now, he's comparing his palace with an inn, that's a hotel, and is saying, why do we go in a hotel? Generally, to take a rest, right? To, sit for a while. So, similarly, there are some people who come in this world who take a birth and they also die. So, they have to leave this world one or the other day, right? So, now, children, he means to say that whenever someone comes in this world, definitely that person has to leave this world and they have to leave all the things that they carry with them. They can't carry everything. Just to give an example, children, when we go to any hotel to stay, do we take the furnitures along with us? No, definitely not. So when we leave the hotel, what we do, children? We leave everything behind, right? So similarly, Sadhuji is explaining to King Akbar that when we die, we have to leave everything behind. We have to leave all the luxury, all the commodities that we have. We can't take anything along with us. What proof do you have to say all things or all these belongs to you only? Nothing is yours, not one thing. So now Sadhuji is telling Akbar, King Akbar, that what proof do you have that these all things belongs to you? Nothing is yours, not even one thing. Not house or palace or shoe, not the grass, not the leaves, not the hives of honey bees, not minaret or mighty wall, domes, windows, doors so tall. Not one item in this world is yours, my lord, my king. Think about it for a moment. It's a pretty simple thing. So, yes, now Sadhuji is trying to convince King Akbar saying that nothing belongs to you, my lord, not even your house, not even your palace, or not even your shoe, not even the grass, the leaves, not the hives of honeybees, not even the minaret or mighty wall, the domes, windows, doors as tall, not even one single thing in this world belongs to you. Now Sadhuji is telling King Akbar to think for a moment, and he's telling it's a really simple thing. Just think about it. Akbar Badshah was dumbfounded. Nothing could he say, for he at last had understood the key of life this day. The world belongs to everyone or else to none at all. So now, children over here, King Akbar was completely dumbfounded. Dumbfounded means he was speechless. The reason is he realized that whatever Sadhuji was saying was actually the fact. It was a truth of life. It is the key of life this day, and the world actually belongs to everyone or else to none at all. That means he also understood that when someone, takes a birth or someone leaves the world or someone dies from the world, the person has to go alone. Okay, and when they leave this particular world, they have to leave behind everything. Nothing belongs to that particular person. So he understood the key of life. This was the secret he did not know that made him trip and fall. So now over here he's talking about the secret that he revealed about the key of life, that someone who is going to die, that person has to leave everything behind. Now when King Akbar came to know about the secret of the life that made him trip and fall, the reason is he was feeling a lot of proud about himself. Now the king was quiet. The sadhu smiled. He winked at him and said, I fooled you, king. I am Birbal. Now, when Sadhuji realized that now King Akbar has realized his mistake, and now he understood that what is the secret of the life, now he thought this is the right time to reveal the plan made by him. And what was the plan, children? That the sadhu was actually Birbal. Now he said, I fooled you, king, I am Birbal. As his disguise he shed. You mean you could not guess, my lord? How will you rule? He shook his head. Now over here, Sadhuji, that means Birbal, told King Akbar that you couldn't guess, my lord, that it was me. Then how will you rule this particular kingdom? And he shook his head. Now Akbar said to Birbal, you took me for a ride. The sadhu has my grateful thanks for puncturing my pride. Now children, over here King Akbar said to Birbal, you actually took me for a ride. Now he means to say that even when you played a role of sadhu, I am really thankful for that. I am really grateful for that. The reason is you actually punctured my pride. Okay, so yes children, finally this was the end, and King Akbar also realized that he was actually in a wrong thought that he is ruling this world, this entire world, and all the thing belongs to him. And as we know, this was a small act between King Akbar and Birbal, and how Birbal planned to come up with the role of Sadhuji, and by doing this role, how he punctured the pride of King Akbar. So yes children, so it was a beautiful end, and yes, we have learned a lot from this particular poem, right? So now what we will do is we will quickly go to the value points of this particular poem. As you know children, you have to go to the value point and make sure that you can also write these points in your notebook so that it can give you a summary of this particular poem. So this is the first slide of the value point. This is the second slide, and you can go through some more points on value points as well. These are few more points. Make sure, children, that you are definitely going to read all these points. And now, children, we will start with one example on reference to the context. Now, there are few lines which says, he saw the bug his king had caught. He was sharp, not one to miss. Fried it was, he knew for sure, that made the Badshah speak like this. Okay. Now, the question is, children, who is he in these lines? I repeat, who is he in these lines, children? He is Birbal, right? Okay. Now, what bug is he talking about? Now, what is the bug he was talking about? The bug is Akbar's vanity. Next, what reason does he give for the king speaking like this? Birbal reasons that Akbar has been afflicted by pride and arrogance. Yes. So, what was the reason given? The reason is that King Akbar has been afflicted by pride and arrogance. Right. So, children, I'm very sure that you are clear with part 2 of this poem. Lesson number 11, One World, written by Safdar Hashmi. Now, this particular poem has actually given us a wonderful message as well. So make sure, children, that you read this poem thoroughly and also go through all the important points and words. And yes, children, below this particular video, there is a link and this is a worksheet. You have to fill the worksheet and send it across online. So yes, children, till we meet next time, you take care of yourself. Bye-bye.